Hi, Mike Jacobs again. This video is another line of videos that I'm going to be putting out about the credit card industry. The last video was what you didn't know about credit card processing. This video is exclusively for sales reps, consultants, or SMCs, which stands for Sales Merchant Consultant. Um this video is going to talk about what to look for when being recruited by a company. Um, it's going to tell how the companies get a hold of you or contact you for recruitment. It's going to talk about some of the things that they tell you during your recruitment. It's also going to talk about some of their training, and it's also going to talk about the video is going to talk about some of the things that you'll witness while in the field if you take those jobs. The first thing that I was going to share with you is that, excuse me, some of the companies that recruit you, they're going to do that through um, certain entities like Monster.com. They're going to use Craigslist. They're going to use some of your local newspaper, mainly those three entities. And once you call in, they set you up with a recruiter. The recruiter is going to spend probably 15 to 30 minutes with you on the phone, find out a little bit about your background, find out if you have any sales experience, and then they're going to go into selling you just like a merchant would be sold on their company and what they're going to be providing for you as a employee. They're going to tell you that you're going to have to fill out an application. They're going to do a background check on you, that you're going to have to fill out a W-2 form, and all this stuff. And I'm going to explain the W-2 form and how they take out their taxes. They're going to explain some of the commission bases that you're going to be paid, which would be solely commission based only. And they're going to make you feel like all you got to do is walk in, sign, fill out a few pieces of paper, the merchant's closed, and then move on happily ever after. Excuse me, I have a little bit of a cold, so I'm going to try this with the cold of recording this video. You just have to forgive me for the coughing. Um, anyway, let me just go into first talking about what some of the things they're going to be telling you during the recruitment. They're going to be telling you, hey, we'll bring you aboard. We got a $2,500 to $3,000 sign-on bonus. We will, after you've been with us a certain time or had X amount of sales, we will give you gas allowance for driving, on a 50 to or 20 to 50 mile radius. We'll also give you a cell phone allowance once you've been with us enough and you've shown that you can make some sales. These are some of the things that they're going to be telling you, when in fact, when you get to the bottom line, you'll never see these things. Okay? First of all, let me just be frank and honest with you. Most of these companies could care less about you as a rep. You're a dime a dozen. There's many applications coming through through all these different sources, and then of course there's their training programs and stuff like that, and we'll get into that here in just a little bit. But first, let's talk about what's going to be said during the recruiting process. A couple of things that'll be said to you is what is your past history? Have you had any sales experience? And then if you say, well, no, I haven't had any sales experience, well, that's okay. We have a very good training program. Let's go on and continue continue with other things that we're going to talk about during the interview. And, to shorten it all up, because I don't want this video to run very long, let's just shorten it up just a little bit, and let's talk about some of the things that they're going to tell you and promise you. Um, well, here's the thing. Most of our reps make anywhere from $700 to $1,500 a week. Hey, that sounds all great and dandy. That's good money. We can support our families off that. And that's what in our mind we're thinking. Hey, I can pay my rent. I can pay my utilities. I can make sure this is paid. Let me hear more. That's piqued our interest, so we're going to listen to more. Then they're going to tell you, of course, about what I just said, the gas allowance and the cell phone allowance. And they're also going to tell you about the sign-on bonus. Okay, so we've got all that intake and input into our system, and we're taking it all in, and it's sounding great. Man, boy, I can go out there. If I just got a positive attitude, I can make this happen. Okay, so then the next step is they say, okay, I'll tell you what, you mull this over a little bit, think it over, talk about it with your family, and I'll send you some emails, and then I'll get back with you here in about 30 minutes, and then the next step is I'm going to send you an application process. You're going to fill out this application to see if we can get you going a little sooner, and then you'll fill out the application process. Again, there's going to be another phone call, and then they're going to say, hey, I tell you what, I'm going to set you in a webinar, and you're going to have to sit through a 6 to 8 hour webinar with a company trainer. He's going to train you exactly on how our rates work. He's going to train you on what you talk to a merchant about, and then once that's complete, then we're going to send you out and see what happens on your first sale. Now, if you'll sit through that, they'll tell you, if you sit through the webinar, we're going to promise you at least 50 bucks extra on your first sale, just for sitting through the webinar. Okay, guys, I don't know about you, but if I sit through something that's 8 hours, that takes up 8 hours of my time, time is money. And if I'm not out there either looking for a job to get money or anything else, I don't think $50 is going to cover an 8-hour shift. I don't know about you guys, but 8 hours is just not going to cut it. So be thinking about that stuff. They say, okay, we're going to pay you 50 bucks, even 100 bucks. If you think about it, at $10 an hour at 8 hours, that's 80 bucks. So if they offer you 80 or 100 bucks, that might be all right. But 10 hours, let's just face it, $10 an hour is just not what we're looking for to make it nowadays, to make a living. So $50 is really not that much to spend your entire day sitting in front of a computer watching a webinar of something you have no idea what you're getting into. Again, whatever they train you or teach you in this webinar is what you're going to be saying to these merchants. Okay, so understand, it's only what you learn what you're going to be saying. So in other words, if the merchant starts calling you and giving you all kinds of fits and griefs about what you sold them, you only know what you've been taught or what you've been trained to do. So I want you to keep this in mind in this video, because we're going to go extensively and explain all this stuff over and over. Then once you get done with your, let's just say you go through your webinar, they teach you all the stuff that you're going to be talking to the merchants about. They're going to assign you to what they call a team leader. This team leader is going to talk to you about what you say when you go into business. They're going to ask you that you call them every morning at 7 to 7:30 every single morning. They're going to give you an appointment. These are supposedly predetermined appointments, which in the other video I talked about the sales solicitors or telephone solicitors that are calling these businesses. If you'll watch that video, or if you haven't watched that video, I urge you to watch that, and all you have to do is click on my name to find that video. It does talk about the telephone solicitors and how many of them they have, which is over 100. And they call these merchants up. Most of the appointments are false appointments that they send you to. The businesses don't even exist anymore. I don't know where they even come up with some of this stuff that they give you. You might drive to a business that's never been opened in 2 years, but yet you had an appointment for that business to talk to that business owner. You'll walk up to a business owner from some of these appointments that they schedule for you, and the business owner will act like he doesn't even know that you were supposed to be there at 9 or 10 or 12 o'clock or 11 or whatever it is, whatever time it is. So these are things that are red flags from the beginning if you watch, what's happening and what's in front of you. This is going to go on and on and on. Now, what they'll tell you is hey, we'll pay you a $200 bonus if you'll self-generate a lead or a sale. So if you ended up getting a sale that you walked into a business that wasn't an appointment and you self-generated that, you would get actually a $200 bonus for doing that. Most of your sales probably would come from a self-generated. It would never come from an appointment. I do know that your sales leader wants you to talk to them before you walk into the business. The sales leader is going to want to talk to you as you're in the business. They're going to want to talk to your customer. They're going to tell you things like, well, tell the customer, uh, hey, I got through a presentation. What would you like for me to do now? Or something to that effect. And then they'll want to get on the phone with the merchant to try to lock the merchant into a contract that you don't even realize you're signing the merchant into. Here's the thing: the sales leader or sales member or team leader or whatever you want to call them, they have no idea who that merchant is, and they'll never have to talk to that merchant again. But I guarantee you, you will. You'll get a call from that merchant at least 15 to 20 times about how you misled them, how you suckered them into this contract, how you told them they'd have a cheaper rate when they really didn't have a cheaper rate. So you need to be aware of this stuff. You need to check these companies out. Google is a wonderful tool. And if you don't know how to use Google, Google BBB, Better Business Bureau, and insert this company name into the Better Business Bureau. If it comes up as an F rating, to me that stands for fail. F stands for fail. They failed the industry because they're no good. They're they're scammers. They're people that are trying to get you to do something that they wouldn't do themselves. So they can make money off your gas money and your time. Let's just say they give you 4 appointments in a day, and that 4 appointments was one was 50 miles, one was 100 miles away, one was 75 miles, and then you ended up Timbuktu, which puts you 200 miles away from home. You didn't get one sale. You drove all the way back home. Look at all the gas money you spent and all the time you spent trying to go to these appointments that never existed to begin with. Do not let them talk you into this. It's nothing more than a scam for you, and it's a scam for the merchant. If you care about people in general and people in their business, I mean, guys, let's face it. You could be the sole reason that some of these businesses go out of business. I can tell you stories that would really blow your mind. For example, uh, there was a business that was signed up by one of these same people. The business had a loan through another company. They got that company to switch to their company. They still had the loan. So the only way they could leave that company is, one, to pay out of their contract, two, they have to pay their loan back in full. This was a $20,000 loan. This customer's funds was held for over, let's see, 30 days, 40 days, 45 days, and then all that money was taken back by the former merchant because they had to pay back that loan against their processing that they had. The business had to shut down. It was a good business, ran about $16,000 a month in processing, and it shut down, literally shut down by one consultant that went to work for this company that walked into this business, listened to the team leader say, oh, we can help them. Yeah, no problem. They don't have to pay that back. The sales team leader is going to tell that merchant anything they want to hear to get them to sign that contract and get them to come over to their company. Not only that, but they put them into a $5,000 lease. This is true stuff. This really happened. So you reps realize that you could possibly, going to work for these companies like this, you could absolutely positively cause that merchant to go out of business. Yes, there is indeed companies out there that don't operate this way. They don't do business this way. You can actually go to work for. They don't do contracts. They don't lease equipment. They give this stuff away on a daily basis. So there is good companies to go to. And again, I have a website that I've addressed in each of my videos, and I'm going to put it with this one. It'll be below in the comment section that tells everything about this for reps and for the merchants, to go with it. It's obvious that there's been several merchants that's been burnt in this. There's been reps, and if you'll go read some of these comments in Google or the BBB, you'll find that what I'm telling you to be accurate. Your team leader can be standoffish. Once you start, here's the thing. They know that that they got to keep this hiring process going because they know once you see a statement or some of the people that you sold see the statement and you learn from them that it's all a bunch of a scam to get them to do it, or misleading, however you want to call it. To me, misleading is lying. A scam is something that takes money from people, and money that shouldn't be taken. So basically, what you need to do is you need to Google this stuff. You need to go to the Better Business Bureau about these people that are recruiting you to go to work for them. Make sure that you have the exact information you need to make a decision to go to work for these people. Make sure that their sign-up bonuses are true. You don't have to do X amount of sales just to get your sign-up bonus. A sign-up bonus means, hey, you're going to sign up with me? Good, I'm going to pay you to do that. It's an investment to get you to come aboard. And why would I invest money in you if I'm going to have you misleading for me? And if they have any stipulations, that ought to be another red flag. Don't go to work for them if they make stipulations. When you talk to your team leaders on this stuff, the people that they turn you over to talk to, make darn sure when you talk to them, you ask them about your sign-up bonus. That'll be your first clue. If you say, hey, I just want to know, when am I receiving my sign-up bonus? If they say, oh, you got to have 10 sales to do that, we got to see that you're going to do this, blah, 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 blah. Don't believe that stuff. Don't buy into it. Don't do it. Exit out of it. Don't get involved with those companies. You don't even have to tell your team leader anything. Change your number if you have to. Don't answer his call again. Get out of it. Don't get into that company, because that right there is going to tell you that what they're doing is a scam. They're scamming you to scam a merchant, and your integrity is at risk, because let's face it, you go into your town where you know people and maybe your friends are merchants, and you go and you sign them up on this. You're hurting their business when you do that, because you don't know what you're getting into. So think about what you're doing when you interview with these people. Think about what you may be doing to a potential merchant if you go to work for these people, and make sure you know who they are. Google them. Go to the Better Business Bureau. I have said that 3 or 4 times. These things are good tools. Better Business Bureau is one of the best or the best things on the internet to go to find out this stuff. The Electron Association, that's government operated. If you go into the Electron, it'll tell you stuff too. They research this stuff. The more complaints you see, that ought to be red flags to say, hey, I don't want to go to work for these people. So if you guys have any questions about this, again, comment me, leave me a comment in the comment section. I'll be glad to exchange emails with you. I'll be glad to talk to some of you folks on the phone that are looking for this stuff. You know, they're looking for employment, and tell you what to look for and what not to look for. We can exchange email. I have a phone number. If you decide that you want to talk to me in person, just tell me in the email. I'll send you my phone number. I'll be glad to get on the phone with you. But more importantly, leave me a comment if you have any questions. I know there's reps out there that want to see this video. This video is for you guys. This is your career and your integrity that's on the line with this. Thank you very much for watching the video. Have a good evening.